Once upon a time, in a cozy little village nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling river, there lived three best friends named Lily, Max, and Sam. The three friends shared a love for adventure and exploring the world around them. One sunny morning, while they were playing by the river, they discovered an old, dusty map hidden inside a hollow tree trunk. The map revealed the location of a mysterious treasure hidden deep within the nearby enchanted forest. Excited by the prospect of a grand adventure, the three friends decided to embark on a journey to find the treasure. They gathered their backpacks, filled with snacks, a compass, and other essential supplies, and set off towards the enchanted forest. As they entered the forest, they marveled at the beauty of the towering trees, the vibrant flowers, and the melodious songs of the birds. However, they soon discovered that the forest was filled with challenges and obstacles they would need to overcome. First, they encountered a wide, rushing river that they needed to cross. Working together, they built a sturdy raft from fallen branches and leaves, using their teamwork and ingenuity to safely navigate the river. Next, the little explorers came across a steep and rocky hill that stood between them and their destination. Undeterred, they encouraged and supported each other, using their strength and determination to climb the hill and continue their journey. As they ventured deeper into the forest, they met a wise old owl named Oliver, who shared valuable knowledge about the forest and its many secrets. The friends listened carefully, using their newfound wisdom to navigate the forest's twists and turns. Finally, after a long day of exploring, the little adventurers discovered a hidden cave where the treasure was said to be hidden. Inside the cave, they found not gold or jewels, but something much more valuable: a magical book filled with stories of adventure, friendship, and bravery. The friends realized that the true treasure was not material wealth, but the experiences they had shared and the lessons they had learned on their journey. With their hearts filled with joy, they returned to their village, eager to share their adventure and the magical book with their loved ones. That night, as the stars shone brightly above the village, the little explorers gathered with their friends and family, sharing stories of their grand adventure and the valuable lessons they had learned about friendship, bravery, and discovery. Good night, little ones, and may your dreams be filled with the excitement of the little explorer's grand adventure and the magic of discovering the world around us. Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by green fields and tall trees, there was a little train named Tommy and a kind tractor named Tilly. They were the best of friends and loved to help the villagers with their work. One sunny morning, Tommy was chugging along the tracks, carrying a heavy load of fruits and vegetables to the village market. The villagers loved Tommy because he always brought fresh produce from the nearby farms. Meanwhile, Tilly was working in the fields, helping the farmers plow the land and plant seeds for the next harvest. Tilly was very strong and could easily pull heavy plows and trailers. The farmers appreciated Tilly's hard work and her friendly nature. As the sun began to set, Tommy and Tilly decided to meet near the old oak tree in the center of the village. They talked about their day and how much they enjoyed helping the villagers. Suddenly, they noticed that the village children were sad and gathered around them. "What's the matter, little ones?" asked Tilly, with concern in her voice. "We're bored," said a young boy named Timmy. "We've played all the games we know, and we have nothing else to do." Tommy and Tilly thought for a moment, and then they had a brilliant idea. "Why don't we organize a race?" suggested Tommy. "I'll race on the tracks and Tilly can race on the road. We can have checkpoints along the way where the children can cheer us on." The children's faces lit up with excitement, and they immediately started to prepare for the race. They painted colorful banners, made flags, and marked the checkpoints with balloons. The next day, the whole village gathered to watch Tommy and Tilly's race. The children cheered loudly as the race began, and Tommy and Tilly set off at full speed. As they raced along their respective paths, Tommy noticed that Tilly was struggling to keep up. Tilly's wheels were slipping in the muddy road, making it difficult for her to move forward. Seeing his friend in trouble, Tommy decided to slow down and let Tilly catch up. As Tilly reached Tommy, he shouted, "Don't worry, Tilly. We're in this together. Let's finish the race side by side." With Tommy's encouragement, Tilly found the strength to keep going, and they finished the race together, hand in hand, to the cheers of the excited children. The villagers were touched by the kindness and sportsmanship shown by Tommy and Tilly. They realized that winning wasn't everything, and that true friends support each other through thick and thin. From that day on, the village children never felt bored again. They learned the importance of friendship, teamwork, and kindness, and they shared these values with everyone they met. And so, the little train and the kind tractor taught a valuable lesson to the whole village, creating a bond that would last forever. That's the end of the story. Good night, children. In a cozy little house at the end of a quiet street, there lived a happy family with a sweet baby boy named Ben. Baby Ben was a curious and playful child, always eager to explore the world around him. One sunny morning, as baby Ben lay in his crib, he noticed a beautiful butterfly fluttering outside his window. Fascinated by the colorful creature, baby Ben's imagination began to soar, and he decided to embark on a big adventure to learn more about the world. With a wave of his tiny hand, baby Ben magically transformed his crib into a magnificent flying ship. He climbed aboard, excited and ready to explore the wonders that awaited him. As baby Ben's flying ship soared through the sky, he discovered a lush and vibrant jungle. There, he met a wise old elephant named Ella, who taught him about the importance of respecting nature and all living creatures. Baby Ben listened intently, his eyes wide with wonder. Next, baby Ben's ship took him to a beautiful coral reef beneath the sparkling ocean waves. There, he met a cheerful dolphin named Dolly, who showed him the beauty of teamwork and cooperation as the marine creatures worked together in harmony. Baby Ben's journey continued across the vast and mysterious desert, where he met a clever camel named Kara. Kara shared with baby Ben the importance of perseverance and resilience in the face of challenges. Baby Ben nodded, taking her wise words to heart. As the sun began to set, baby Ben found himself flying over a bustling city, filled with lights and laughter. He met a kind-hearted cat named Kathy, who taught him about the power of friendship and love as they watched the people in the city caring for one another. With each new experience, baby Ben's mind and heart grew as he learned valuable lessons about life and the world around him. Finally, as the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, baby Ben knew it was time to return home. With a grateful heart, he waved goodbye to his new friends and steered his flying ship back towards his cozy little house. As baby Ben's ship gently touched down, his magical adventure came to an end. He found himself back in his crib, tucked in by his loving parents. Baby Ben closed his eyes, his heart filled with the memories of his incredible journey and the lessons he had learned. From that day on, baby Ben continued to grow into a kind, wise, and compassionate person as he carried the lessons from his big adventure with him throughout his life. Good night, little ones, and may your dreams be filled with the wonders of baby Ben's magical adventure and the lessons he learned along the way. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there were two lovely princesses named Lily and Rose. They lived in a beautiful castle surrounded by a lush forest, a crystal-clear lake, and a vibrant meadow full of wildflowers. The princesses were very kind and gentle, always taking care of their people and the animals in their kingdom. They were loved and admired by everyone. One day, the king announced that he would hold a magical ball to celebrate the birthday of the two princesses. This was not an ordinary ball, but a magical one, where fairies, elves, unicorns, and other magical creatures would come to dance and have fun. The ball would last for 3 enchanting nights, with each night more magical than the last. As the news spread, everyone in the kingdom was excited and eager to prepare for the event. Tailors stitched elegant gowns, chefs prepared delicious feasts, and gardeners tended to the most beautiful flowers to decorate the castle. The princesses, too, couldn't wait for their special day, and they spent many hours dreaming about the wonderful dresses they would wear and the new friends they would make. Before the ball began, the royal family received a special gift from a kind-hearted fairy who lived in the nearby forest. It was a magical mirror that could show the true heart of anyone who looked into it. The king placed the mirror in the castle, hoping it would remind everyone of the importance of inner beauty and kindness. On the first night of the ball, the castle was transformed into an enchanting wonderland. Colorful flowers bloomed everywhere, and sparkling fairy lights twinkled in the trees. The air was filled with the sweet scent of roses and the sound of laughter. The princesses looked stunning in their elegant gowns, one pink like a rose and the other blue like a lily. Their eyes sparkled with joy as they welcomed their guests to the ball. As the music started, everyone began to dance. The princesses twirled and spun, their gowns swirling around them like delicate petals. Fairies flew above the dancers, showering them with magical dust that made their feet light as air. Unicorns trotted gracefully around the dance floor, their manes shimmering with all the colors of the rainbow. On the second night, a magnificent fireworks display lit up the sky, and the guests danced under the stars. Everyone was amazed by the beautiful patterns and colors that filled the night. The laughter and joy of the guests could be heard throughout the kingdom, and it seemed like the whole world was celebrating the princess's birthday. On the third and final night, the magical creatures of the kingdom joined the celebration. Elves played beautiful music on their flutes, while gentle giants performed incredible acrobatics. Mermaids from the crystal-clear lake sang the sweetest melodies, and the fairies granted special wishes to the guests. It was on this magical night that a handsome prince named William arrived at the ball. He had heard about the magical celebration and had traveled from a distant land to meet the beautiful princesses. Lily and Rose were both charmed by Prince William, and they each hoped that he would choose one of them to dance with. As the prince approached, the two princesses felt their hearts racing with excitement. But instead of choosing one princess over the other, Prince William asked if he could dance with both of them. The princesses agreed, and they danced gracefully, one on each side of the prince. As they danced, Prince William told the princesses about his kingdom and the many adventures he had experienced in his travels. Lily and Rose listened intently, their eyes filled with wonder. They took turns sharing stories from their own lives, and they discovered that they had much in common with the prince. They spoke about their love for nature, their favorite books, and their dreams for the future. As the night went on, the two princesses realized that they were not competing for the prince's attention, but enjoying his company together. They laughed and shared stories, and by the end of the night, they had become close friends with Prince William. The magical ball came to an end, and everyone agreed that it had been the most wonderful celebration the kingdom had ever seen. The castle was filled with warmth, love, and happiness, and the memories of the magical nights would stay with the guests forever. When it was time for Prince William to return to his kingdom, the princesses knew that they would always remember the wonderful evenings they had shared. They had learned a valuable lesson. True friendship and love do not require competition or jealousy. As they waved goodbye to their new friend, they promised to visit his kingdom and share more adventures together. The magical mirror, which had been placed in the castle, had shown the true hearts of Lily, Rose, and Prince William. The mirror reflected their kindness, love, and friendship, proving that true beauty lies within. From that day on, the kingdom was filled with even more happiness and love. The people knew that their beloved princesses had not only brought joy to their own lives, but had also taught them a valuable lesson about the importance of friendship, love, and inner beauty. Lily and Rose continued to rule their kingdom with grace and wisdom, always remembering the magical memories of the ball and their friendship with Prince William. They made sure to spread love and kindness throughout the land, inspiring everyone to be their best selves. As the years went by, the story of the magical ball became a cherished tale in the kingdom. Parents would tell their children about the enchanting nights, the laughter and dancing, and the lessons learned by the princesses and the prince. And so, the legacy of the magical ball lived on, a reminder to all that true happiness comes from within and that love and friendship are the greatest treasures one can find, and they all lived happily ever after. The end. Once upon a time, in a small, bustling town, there was a magical zoo that was home to the most amazing animals from all around the world. The zoo was loved and cared for by its dedicated zookeeper, Mr. Thompson, who had a special gift. He could talk to animals. Mr. Thompson made sure that all the animals in the zoo felt loved, safe, and comfortable in their unique habitats. However, he also knew the importance of helping the animals learn to live together in harmony. One sunny day, Mr. Thompson gathered all the animals for an important announcement. He told them about the annual Zoo-tastic Festival, a special event where the animals would work together to create a spectacular show for the visitors. Excited by the prospect of putting on a great show, the animals immediately began to brainstorm ideas. At first, they argued and disagreed, as each animal believed their talents were the most important for the show. The wise old owl, Ollie, saw the discord among the animals and decided to help them find a solution. He gathered the animals and reminded them that each of them had unique abilities and that, by working together, they could create a truly unforgettable show. Taking Ollie's words to heart, the animals decided to put their differences aside and combine their strengths. The graceful giraffes and the nimble monkeys worked together to create stunning acrobatic performances. The powerful lions and the swift cheetahs showed off their incredible speed and agility. The colorful parrots and the musical songbirds joined forces to create a beautiful, harmonious chorus. Even the shy tortoises and the gentle sloths found their place in the show, teaching the visitors the importance of patience and perseverance. As the animals practiced and perfected their acts, a beautiful bond of friendship and teamwork began to form. They learned to appreciate and celebrate their differences, as they discovered that it was their uniqueness that made their show truly special. Finally, the day of the Zoo-tastic Festival arrived. The visitors were amazed and delighted by the spectacular show, filled with incredible feats of strength, agility, grace, and teamwork. The animals beamed with pride as they realized the power of unity and the importance of celebrating their differences. That night, as the stars twinkled brightly in the sky, the animals of the magical zoo went to sleep, their hearts filled with love, friendship, and the memories of their incredible zoo-tastic adventure. Good night, little ones, and may your dreams be filled with the magical world of the zoo, the amazing animals, and the power of friendship and teamwork. Once upon a time, in a mystical land called Enchantia, there lived 3 young sisters who were also talented witches. Their names were Luna, Stella, and Celeste. They were known as the Stardust Sisters because they had a special gift: the power to create and control stardust, a magical substance that could bring joy and happiness to anyone who touched it. The Stardust Sisters lived in a charming little house at the edge of the Whispering Woods, where they practiced their magic and took care of the plants and animals around them. They were loved by everyone in Enchantia, and their stardust was cherished by all. One day, a mysterious dark cloud appeared over Enchantia, casting a gloomy shadow on the once bright and colorful land. The people grew sad and worried, and no one knew how to make the darkness go away. The sisters knew that they had to do something to help their friends, so they set out on an adventure to find the source of the dark cloud and bring light back to Enchantia. Together, they embarked on a journey full of magical creatures, enchanted forests, and mysterious challenges. During their travels, they encountered a wise old owl who revealed that the dark cloud was the work of an evil sorceress named Malvina. She had stolen the rainbow crystal, a powerful gem that held the key to Enchantia's happiness, and was using it to spread darkness and despair throughout the land. The sisters knew that they had to retrieve the rainbow crystal and defeat Malvina to save their home. Along the way, they discovered that their stardust had the power to dispel the darkness and bring hope to those who were affected by it. They used their gift to spread happiness and light wherever they went, making new friends and allies who supported their quest. Finally, the sisters arrived at Malvina's castle, a sinister fortress shrouded in darkness. They bravely confronted the evil sorceress, who was not willing to give up the rainbow crystal without a fight. A magical battle ensued, with the sisters using their stardust to counter Malvina's dark spells. In the end, the power of love and unity prevailed, as the sisters combined their stardust to create a brilliant beam of light that broke through the dark cloud and defeated Malvina. The rainbow crystal was freed from her grasp, and the darkness that had plagued Enchantia vanished. The Stardust Sisters returned home as heroes, and with the power of the rainbow crystal, they restored happiness and light to Enchantia. They continued to use their magical stardust to bring joy to everyone they met and became an inspiration to all who heard their story. The people of Enchantia learned that even in the darkest times, there is always hope, and that the power of love, friendship, and unity can overcome any obstacle. And so, the Stardust Sisters and the people of Enchantia lived happily ever after, with their hearts full of love and their world full of light. Good night, and may your dreams be filled with the magical adventures of the Stardust Sisters and the enchanting land of Enchantia. Once upon a time, in a lively town called Carlandia, all sorts of cars lived happily together. The cars had faces, personalities, and feelings just like people do. They spent their days driving around, exploring, and enjoying the beauty of their town. Every year, the town of Carlandia held a special event, the Great Race of Carlandia. Cars from all over the town would come to participate in the exciting and challenging race that tested their speed, skill, and teamwork. In Carlandia, there were two best friends named Speedy and Steady. Speedy was a flashy red sports car who was known for his incredible speed and agility. Steady, on the other hand, was a strong and reliable blue pickup truck who was known for his consistency and endurance. One day, the mayor of Carlandia announced that the annual Great Race of Carlandia was just around the corner. Speedy and Steady decided to enter the race together, knowing that their unique strengths would complement each other and make them a great team. As the race day approached, Speedy and Steady practiced together, helping each other improve and grow stronger. They knew that winning the race would not only bring them fame, but also help them prove the power of true friendship. On the day of the race, cars from all over the town gathered at the starting line, their engines revving with excitement. The mayor waved the checkered flag, and the race began. Speedy and Steady zoomed through the streets of Carlandia, overcoming various obstacles and challenges along the way. When they reached a steep hill, Steady's strength helped push Speedy up, while Speedy's agility helped them navigate through a maze of narrow streets. As the race continued, they encountered a car named Rusty who had broken down along the racecourse. Seeing their fellow car in distress, Speedy and Steady decided to stop and help. They worked together to fix Rusty's broken wheel, even though it meant losing valuable time in the race. Once Rusty was back on the road, the three cars continued the race together, forming a strong bond of friendship. They soon caught up with the other racers, and thanks to their teamwork and determination, they crossed the finish line together. The people of Carlandia cheered as Speedy, Steady, and Rusty were awarded the trophy for their incredible teamwork and kindness. The cars had learned a valuable lesson, that true friendship and helping others are more important than winning a race. From that day on, the cars of Carlandia became closer than ever, always willing to lend a helping wheel to their friends in need. They all lived happily ever after, racing together and celebrating the power of friendship and kindness. Good night, and may your dreams be filled with the exciting adventures of Speedy, Steady, Rusty, and the Great Race of Carlandia. Once upon a time, in a peaceful countryside village, there was a farm called Sunflower Valley. The farm was owned by a kind and hardworking young woman named Daisy. Daisy's farm was home to many animals, including cows, sheep, pigs, chickens, and even a wise old horse named Whiskers. Farmer Daisy loved her animals and took excellent care of them. She believed that a happy farm was a productive farm, and her animals were the happiest in the land. One day, while Daisy was tending to her farm, she received a letter from the mayor of the village. The letter invited her to participate in the upcoming Village Harvest Festival. This annual event showcased the best produce, livestock, and handmade crafts from the surrounding farms. Daisy was overjoyed and knew this was an excellent opportunity to show the villagers the magic of Sunflower Valley. Daisy gathered her animals and asked for their help in preparing for the festival. The animals were excited and readily agreed to assist their beloved farmer. To prepare for the festival, Daisy and her animals worked together, each contributing their unique talents. The cows provided fresh milk, which Daisy turned into delicious cheese. The sheep offered their soft wool, which Daisy spun into warm and cozy blankets. The pigs helped Daisy dig up the farm's best vegetables, while the chickens laid eggs for her to make tasty pastries. And Whiskers, the wise old horse, shared his knowledge and experience, guiding Daisy and her animal friends throughout their preparations. As the day of the Village Harvest Festival drew near, Daisy and her animals worked harder than ever. They practiced their crafts, perfected their recipes, and polished the farm until it sparkled like never before. Finally, the day of the festival arrived. Daisy and her animals loaded up their cart with their finest goods and set off for the village. The festival was a lively event, filled with music, laughter, and the delicious aroma of home-cooked food. Farmers from all around the region had gathered to share their best produce and crafts with the villagers. Daisy and her animals proudly displayed their goods at their stall, and it wasn't long before they attracted a crowd of villagers eager to sample their offerings. The villagers were amazed by the quality of Daisy's produce and the love and care she had put into her crafts. They marveled at the teamwork and friendship between Daisy and her animals and saw how their kindness and cooperation had created something truly special. As the festival came to an end, the mayor approached Daisy's stall with a smile on his face. He announced that Sunflower Valley had won the first prize for their exceptional produce and crafts. Daisy and her animals were overjoyed and grateful for the recognition. The mayor awarded Daisy a beautiful trophy and asked her to share the secret of her success. Daisy smiled and said, "The secret is simple: kindness, love, and teamwork. When we treat each other with respect and work together, we can achieve great things." The villagers and fellow farmers were inspired by Daisy's words and vowed to apply her wisdom to their own farms and lives. From that day forward, the village became a place where kindness, love, and teamwork flourished. Neighbors helped one another, friendships blossomed, and the village grew into a happy, thriving community. Farmer Daisy, her animals, and the villagers lived happily ever after, sharing the magic of Sunflower Valley with everyone who visited. Good night, and may your dreams be filled with the marvelous adventures of Farmer Daisy, her animals, and their happy farm. Once upon a time, in the magical land of Lumina, there was a village where the sun never set and the moon never rose. The villagers, known as Luminians, lived in harmony with the eternal daylight. Their lives revolved around the unique creatures inhabiting the land: the radiant shimmerbirds, the glowing glowworms, and the dazzling starflowers. One day, a young Luminian named Lila stumbled upon a cave hidden deep within the enchanted forest. As she ventured inside, she found an ancient, dusty book lying on a stone pedestal. Curious, she opened the book and read the inscription: "The Tale of the Lost Moon." The story told of an ancient time when Lumina had both day and night, where the moon would rise and cast a silvery glow over the land. But one fateful evening, the moon mysteriously vanished, leaving the villagers with perpetual daylight. Enchanted by the tale, Lila decided to embark on a quest to restore the moon to the skies of Lumina. She asked her friends, a shimmerbird named Sola and a glowworm named Glim, to join her on her journey. Together, they followed the clues from the ancient book, which led them to the peak of Mount Glissendom. There, they found a hidden chamber, which housed a massive, gleaming crystal. The book revealed that this crystal was the key to bringing the moon back to Lumina. Lila, Sola, and Glim worked together to solve the complex puzzle guarding the crystal. They discovered that by combining their unique talents and strengths, they could unlock the secret to restoring the moon. As they placed the crystal on a pedestal and focused their collective energy, the chamber started to tremble. Slowly, the crystal began to rise into the sky, casting a soft, silvery light upon Lumina. The villagers, who had never seen the night before, were captivated by the new, soothing darkness. The starflowers bloomed brighter than ever, and the glowworms and shimmerbirds danced in the moonlit sky. Luminians found a newfound appreciation for the balance between day and night, as it brought serenity and tranquility to their lives. Lila, Sola, and Glim became heroes, and the villagers celebrated their bravery and determination. The friends learned that by working together, they could achieve anything, no matter how impossible it seemed. And so, the moral of this enchanting tale is that when we embrace our differences and unite our strengths, we can achieve great things and bring balance and harmony to the world. Good night, dear children. Once upon a time, in the picturesque village of Horseshoe Haven, there was a stable filled with the most beautiful and talented horses. The village was famous for its annual horse race, known as the Great Gallop, which attracted horses and riders from far and wide. In Horseshoe Haven lived two best friends, Thunder, a strong and fast black stallion, and Breeze, a graceful and agile white mare. The two horses spent their days running through the meadows and training together for the upcoming Great Gallop. One day, a new horse named Blaze arrived in Horseshoe Haven. Blaze was a young and spirited chestnut horse who longed to prove himself in the race. Thunder and Breeze welcomed Blaze with open hooves and decided to form a team for the Great Gallop. As the race day approached, the three horses trained together, sharing their unique skills and knowledge with one another. Thunder taught Blaze and Breeze how to build strength. Breeze showed them the art of agility, and Blaze shared his passion for speed. On the day of the race, the villagers gathered around the race course, eagerly awaiting the start of the Great Gallop. The horses lined up at the starting line, their hearts pounding with excitement. The race began with the sound of a trumpet, and the horses charged forward, galloping at full speed. Thunder, Breeze, and Blaze worked together, encouraging and supporting each other throughout the race. As they approached a challenging hurdle, Blaze hesitated, unsure of his ability to clear it. Thunder and Breeze noticed his struggle and slowed down, offering words of encouragement. Blaze took a deep breath and, with newfound confidence, leaped gracefully over the hurdle. The race continued, with the horses navigating sharp turns, steep hills, and treacherous terrain. At one point, Breeze stumbled and nearly fell, but Thunder and Blaze were there to help her regain her footing, showing her that they would always be by her side. As the finish line approached, the three friends galloped together, their teamwork and determination shining brightly. In the end, they crossed the finish line as a team, proving that true friendship and teamwork could conquer any challenge. The villagers cheered as Thunder, Breeze, and Blaze were awarded the trophy for their incredible display of teamwork and perseverance. The horses of Horseshoe Haven had learned a valuable lesson, that true friendship and working together were the keys to success and happiness. From that day on, the horses of Horseshoe Haven grew even closer, always ready to lend a helping hoof to their fellow horses. They lived happily ever after, racing together and celebrating the power of friendship and teamwork. Good night, and may your dreams be filled with the thrilling adventures of Thunder, Breeze, Blaze, and the Great Gallop of friendship. Once upon a time, in a peaceful town, there lived a little dog named Pippin. Pippin was a kind and gentle pup, but he was also quite shy. He had no friends to play with, as he was too afraid to approach other dogs. Pippin often watched the other dogs play in the park from his cozy little house and wished he could join in the fun. One day, Pippin's owner decided to take him to the local dog park. Pippin was excited, but also a bit nervous. He knew this would be the perfect chance to find new friends, but he didn't know how to overcome his shyness. As they walked to the park, Pippin's owner reassured him, "Don't worry, little buddy. You'll make new friends in no time. Just be yourself." When they arrived at the dog park, Pippin's heart raced as he saw all the dogs playing together. He hesitated at the entrance, unsure if he could muster the courage to join them. Just then, he noticed a wise old dog named Gramps sitting on a bench nearby. Gramps called out to Pippin, "Why don't you go and play with the others, young one?" Pippin explained that he was too shy and didn't know how to make friends. Gramps smiled kindly and said, "Listen, Pippin, the secret to making friends is to be kind and helpful. Show others that you care, and they will care for you in return. Remember, a good friend is like a treasure, and a little bit of kindness goes a long way." With Gramps' words echoing in his ears, Pippin took a deep breath and ventured into the dog park. He noticed a small puppy named Daisy struggling to fetch a ball that was stuck in a bush. Pippin dashed over and gently nudged the ball out with his nose, returning it to the grateful Daisy. They began to play fetch together, and Pippin felt his shyness melt away. Later, Pippin saw a big dog named Bruno who had lost his favorite toy. Pippin decided to help and soon found the toy buried under a pile of leaves. Bruno was overjoyed and thanked Pippin for his kindness. The two dogs played together, and Pippin felt even more at ease. As the day went on, Pippin continued to help other dogs in the park. He helped a scared dog named Poppy climb down from a tree, shared his water bowl with a thirsty dog named Luna, and even broke up a small disagreement between two pups named Max and Rosie. By the end of the day, Pippin had made many new friends, and his shyness was a thing of the past. He was grateful to Gramps for his wise advice and realized that kindness was the key to making lasting friendships. And so, the moral of this bedtime story is that kindness and helpfulness can open the doors to new friendships. When we show others that we care, they are more likely to care for us in return, and together we can create a world filled with love, compassion, and understanding. Good night, dear children. May your dreams be filled with the warmth of friendship and the joy of togetherness. Once upon a time, in a faraway land filled with enchantment and wonder, there was a magical kingdom called Fantasia. This wondrous place was inhabited by talking animals, fairies, and all sorts of mystical creatures. The inhabitants of Fantasia lived in peace and harmony, spreading love and kindness everywhere they went. In this magnificent realm, there was a small, quaint village called Merrywood. The villagers were kind-hearted, hard-working, and always ready to lend a helping hand. Among them lived a young girl named Lily and her loyal friend, a talking squirrel named Chatter. Lily had always dreamed of exploring the mysteries of Fantasia. She had heard countless tales of hidden treasures, magical beings, and enchanted forests. Her adventurous spirit and boundless curiosity drove her to embark on a grand quest, accompanied by her faithful companion, Chatter. One day, while wandering deep into the enchanted forest, Lily and Chatter stumbled upon a mysterious cave. The cave was adorned with shimmering, colorful crystals and emitted a soft, inviting glow. As they cautiously entered, they discovered that the cave was not only a place of beauty, but also a gateway to an entirely new world. The moment they stepped through the gateway, they found themselves in a breathtaking land filled with lush green meadows, towering waterfalls, and gigantic ancient trees. As they gazed in awe at their surroundings, a wise old owl perched on a nearby branch greeted them. "Welcome to the land of eternal wisdom," said the owl. "I am Solomon, the guardian of this realm. What brings you here, young travelers?" Lily and Chatter shared their dreams of exploration, and Solomon listened intently. He then told them that the land of eternal wisdom was a place where one could learn valuable life lessons and gain insight into the true meaning of happiness. Solomon offered to guide them on their journey, and together, the three of them embarked on a series of adventures. They encountered a family of bears who taught them about the importance of love and unity, a village of hummingbirds who showed them the beauty of living in harmony with nature, and a wise old dragon who shared his knowledge of courage and inner strength. One day, while exploring a hidden valley, they discovered a magnificent tree adorned with golden apples. Solomon explained that these apples held the secret to the greatest lesson of all, the key to a truly happy and fulfilled life. Lily and Chatter were eager to learn this secret and asked Solomon how they could obtain a golden apple, The wise owl explained that the only way to reach the apples was to climb the tree. However, the tree's branches were filled with thorns, and the climb would be a difficult and painful one. Determined to uncover the secret, Lily and Chatter embarked on the arduous climb. As they made their way up the tree, they endured numerous scratches and bruises from the sharp thorns. But they pressed on, motivated by their desire to learn the ultimate lesson. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, they reached the top and plucked a golden apple. With great anticipation, they took a bite, and suddenly they were overwhelmed with a profound sense of understanding. In that moment, they realized that the true key to happiness is not found in material possessions or external circumstances, but in the journey itself. The climb, filled with hardships and challenges, had taught them the value of perseverance, resilience, and friendship. With newfound wisdom, Lily and Chatter returned to Marywood, where they shared their story with the villagers. Their adventure in the land of eternal wisdom became a beloved tale passed down through generations, inspiring others to embrace life's journey and cherish the lessons they learn along the way. And so, the people of Marywood lived their lives with newfound appreciation for the challenges and joys that came their way. They learned to cherish the bonds they formed with one another and to embrace the wisdom gained through each experience. Lily and Chatter continued to embark on new adventures, exploring the far reaches of Fantasia and sharing their knowledge and experiences with those they met along the way. Their friendship grew stronger with each passing day, and their hearts swelled with gratitude for the lessons they had learned in the land of eternal wisdom. As the years went by, the story of Lily, Chatter, and their journey to the land of eternal wisdom became a bedtime favorite for children all across Fantasia. Parents would tuck their little ones into bed, and as the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, they would recount the tale of the brave young girl and her talking squirrel friend who discovered the true key to happiness. The lesson of the golden apple spread throughout the kingdom, inspiring the inhabitants of Fantasia to face life's challenges with courage and resilience. They began to understand that true happiness is not a destination, but a journey filled with love, friendship, and the wisdom that can only be gained through experience. And so, the magical kingdom of Fantasia flourished, with its people living in harmony and contentment. They faced the trials and tribulations of life with grace and determination, knowing that the greatest treasures were not found at the top of a thorny tree, but within their own hearts and the connections they shared with one another. And as the sun set on another glorious day in Fantasia, children drifted off to sleep, dreaming of golden apples and the endless adventures that awaited them in the land of eternal wisdom. The end. Once upon a time, in a lush green garden, there was a bustling ant colony called Unity Valley. The ants were known for their hard work and cooperation. They lived in harmony, always helping each other and sharing their food. One sunny day, a young ant named Archie noticed that their food supplies were running low. He was worried, as he knew that winter was coming and the colony needed enough food to survive. Archie decided to share his concerns with the wise elder ant, Elda. Elda listened carefully and agreed with Archie. She called a meeting with all the ants to discuss their situation. The ants decided to go on an adventure to find more food for the colony. They formed several teams, each led by a brave and strong ant. Archie's team set off, determined to find food for their colony. They marched through the garden, climbing over pebbles and wading through puddles. After a long journey, they discovered a big, delicious-looking cake on a picnic table. The ants were thrilled, but there was a problem. The table was too high, and they couldn't figure out how to reach the cake. Archie knew they needed to find a solution, so he suggested they work together to form a ladder using their bodies. The ants hesitated at first, but Archie reminded them that they were the ants of Unity Valley, and working together was their strength. They agreed and began to climb onto each other's backs, forming a sturdy ladder that reached the top of the table. Once they reached the cake, the ants worked together to carry the food back to their colony. They took turns carrying the crumbs, and before long, they had collected enough food to feed the entire colony for the winter. When they returned to Unity Valley, the other ants cheered and thanked Archie and his team for their bravery and teamwork. The ants realized that by working together, they could overcome any obstacle. From that day on, the ants of Unity Valley became even more united, and their colony thrived. They always remembered the lesson they learned from Archie and his team, that teamwork and unity are the keys to success and happiness. And so the ants of Unity Valley lived happily ever after, working together and supporting each other through thick and thin. Good night, and may your dreams be filled with the spirit of unity and the adventures of the brave ants. Once upon a time, in a beautiful valley surrounded by majestic mountains, there lived a friendly dragon named Smokey. Smokey was a little different from other dragons. Instead of breathing fire, he could only blow smoke rings. Because of this, many of the other dragons would tease him, and Smokey would often feel lonely and sad. One day, Smokey decided to leave the valley and go on an adventure to find a place where he would be accepted and loved for who he was. He took off into the sky, his wings carrying him high above the mountains, and soon he found himself in a dense, magical forest. In the forest, Smokey met a group of creatures who were also considered different from the rest. There was a squirrel who couldn't climb trees, a rabbit who was afraid of carrots, and a shy deer who could only whisper. These creatures welcomed Smokey with open arms, and they quickly became friends. Smokey and his new friends spent their days exploring the magical forest, finding hidden gems and treasures that they shared with one another. The more time they spent together, the more they learned to appreciate their unique qualities and the special gifts they each had. One afternoon, while playing in a clearing, the friends heard a loud cry for help. They rushed towards the sound and found a group of animals trapped in a large, tangled net. The animals had been captured by a cruel hunter who planned to take them far away from their homes. Smokey knew that he couldn't let this happen to his fellow forest dwellers. He gathered his friends, and they devised a plan. The squirrel, who couldn't climb trees, would dig a hole under the net, allowing the captured animals to escape. The rabbit, who was afraid of carrots, would use its sharp teeth to chew through the ropes of the net. And the shy deer, who could only whisper, would use her quiet voice to soothe and calm the frightened animals. But there was still one problem. The hunter was watching his prey closely, and they needed a distraction. That's when Smokey realized that his smoke rings could be useful after all. He took a deep breath and blew a series of large, thick smoke rings into the air, surrounding the hunter in a foggy haze. The hunter, unable to see through the smoke, stumbled around in confusion, giving Smokey and his friends enough time to free the captured animals. As the smoke cleared, the hunter realized that he had been outsmarted by the very creatures he had deemed unworthy. Frustrated and defeated, he left the magical forest, never to return. Smokey and his friends rejoiced, and the grateful animals thanked them for their bravery and kindness. From that day on, the creatures of the magical forest learned to appreciate the unique gifts that everyone had to offer, regardless of their differences. They all lived happily ever after, and Smokey realized that the true measure of a dragon was not in the fire it breathed, but in the love and compassion it shared with others. And so, every creature in the magical forest, including Smokey the dragon, learned a valuable lesson: that it is our differences that make us special, and when we come together, we can achieve great things. Now, close your eyes and drift off to sleep, dreaming of the magical forest and the adventures of Smokey the dragon and his wonderful friends. Good night. Once upon a time, in a small, cozy village, there was a toy store called Wonders and Smiles. The store was filled with wonderful toys that brought joy to the children of the village. However, the store had a grumpy employee named Mr. Grumble. He was always unhappy, and he never treated the children kindly when they visited the store. One sunny day, a group of children, led by two friends named Lucy and Timmy, decided to visit the toy store. They were excited to explore the magical world of toys, but they knew about Mr. Grumble's reputation. Despite his grumpiness, the children believed that he could change. When they entered the store, Mr. Grumble scowled at them from behind the counter. He muttered under his breath, "What do you want? This is not a playground." Lucy, being brave, walked up to Mr. Grumble and said, "We just wanted to see your wonderful toys. We've heard so much about this store." Mr. Grumble huffed, but he couldn't deny that the children were polite. He let them look around, but he kept a close eye on them, expecting trouble. As the children explored the store, they found an old, dusty box hidden in the corner. They opened it to find a beautiful set of paintbrushes and colors. With bright eyes and big smiles, they showed their discovery to Mr. Grumble. Instead of scolding them, Mr. Grumble felt a spark of curiosity. "What do you plan to do with those?" he asked. "We want to paint a mural on the wall outside the store," Timmy replied. "It will make the store even more magical, and everyone in the village will want to come and see it." To their surprise, Mr. Grumble agreed. He helped the children carry the paints and brushes outside and watched as they began to create a beautiful, colorful mural. He couldn't help but feel proud of their hard work and creativity. Day after day, the children came back to work on the mural. They always greeted Mr. Grumble with smiles and kind words, and soon he began to look forward to their visits. He started to see the joy that the toys brought to the children and how his store was a special place for them. Slowly, Mr. Grumble's attitude began to change. He started to greet the children with a smile, and he even helped them find the perfect toys for their adventures. The children's unwavering kindness and belief in him made him realize that he could choose to be a happier person. As the weeks went by, the mural was finally complete. It was a vibrant and enchanting masterpiece that showcased the happiness and imagination that toys could bring to children. The whole village gathered to celebrate, and they were amazed at the transformation of both the store and Mr. Grumble. From that day on, Mr. Grumble became a kind and caring person, always eager to help the children find the perfect toy. The children's unwavering belief in him and their kindness had shown him the power of good deeds and the importance of believing in others. And so, the toy store Wonders and Smiles lived up to its name, bringing happiness and joy to the children and the entire village. The moral of the story is that kindness and belief in others can have a powerful and transformative effect. Even the grumpiest and unhappiest people can change for the better when they are surrounded by love, kindness, and support. Good night, dear children. May your dreams be filled with spirit of kindness and belief. Once upon a time, in the heart of a peaceful forest, there lived an old bear named Grandpa Bear. He had a cozy little house made of sticks and leaves, and he loved it very much. Grandpa Bear had many friends in the forest, like Benny the Bunny, Sally the Squirrel, and Tommy the Turtle. They would often visit him, and they loved spending time together. One stormy night, the wind blew very hard, and the rain poured down like a waterfall. When the storm was over, Grandpa Bear's house was destroyed. The sticks were scattered, and the leaves were blown away. Grandpa Bear felt very sad and didn't know what to do. Benny the Bunny hopped by and saw Grandpa Bear's destroyed house. He felt sorry for his friend and wanted to help. "Don't worry, Grandpa Bear," Benny said. "I'll call our friends and we'll build you a new house." So, Benny went to find Sally the Squirrel and Tommy the Turtle. When they heard the news, they all agreed to help their dear friend Grandpa Bear. The next day, the friends gathered at Grandpa Bear's place to start building a new house. Benny the Bunny used his strong legs to dig a nice foundation. Sally the Squirrel climbed the trees to find strong branches, and Tommy the Turtle carried the leaves on his back. As they worked together, they shared happy stories and laughed together, making the work even more enjoyable. The forest was filled with joy, and all the animals came to see what was happening. They too wanted to help, so they joined in the fun. Mr. Beaver used his strong teeth to cut logs, while Mrs. Bird collected soft grass and twigs for a cozy bed. Even the tiny ants helped by carrying small pebbles to make a sturdy path to the new house. As the sun began to set, Grandpa Bear's new house was finally complete. It was even better than before. It had a sturdy roof, cozy rooms, and a beautiful garden filled with flowers and yummy berries. Grandpa Bear couldn't believe his eyes. He was so grateful for his friends' help and kindness. "Thank you, my dear friends," he said with tears in his eyes. "My new house is amazing, and I couldn't have done it without you all." That night, Grandpa Bear invited everyone to a housewarming party. They danced, sang songs, and feasted on delicious treats under the twinkling stars. As the moon rose high in the sky, everyone felt tired and happy. It was finally time for bed, and Grandpa Bear's friends tucked him into his soft, warm bed. The forest was peaceful, and the stars twinkled like diamonds in the sky. Grandpa Bear smiled as he drifted off to sleep, feeling safe and loved in his new home. And from that day on, Grandpa Bear and his friends knew that they could always count on each other, no matter what challenges came their way. And they lived happily ever after, in their beautiful forest, filled with love and friendship. Good night, children. May your dreams be filled with warmth of friendship. Once upon a time, in a land filled with both wealth and poverty, there lived a noble lady and a humble peasant girl. The lady resided in a grand castle on a hill, while the peasant girl lived in a small cottage in the village below. The lady was known for her beauty and grace, but she was also proud and often looked down upon the villagers. She spent her days attending lavish balls and feasts, never giving a thought to those who lived in the valley. The peasant girl, on the other hand, was kind and hardworking. She spent her days tending to her family's small farm, caring for the animals, and helping her neighbors whenever she could. Despite their different lives, fate brought the lady and the peasant girl together. One day, the lady's carriage broke down near the peasant girl's home. The lady, stranded and helpless, was forced to seek assistance from the villagers. The peasant girl, seeing the lady in need, offered her help without hesitation. The lady, surprised by the peasant girl's kindness, reluctantly accepted her offer. The peasant girl, along with her neighbors, worked together to fix the carriage, while the lady observed their efforts. Over time, the lady began to see the value of the villagers' hard work and the warmth of their community. As the days passed, the lady grew more and more fond of the peasant girl and her way of life. She learned the joys of simple pleasures, like tending to a garden, sharing a meal with neighbors, and watching the sunset with friends. In return, the lady taught the peasant girl about the finer things in life. She showed her how to dance at a ball, appreciate the beauty of art, and understand the importance of education and knowledge. As their friendship blossomed, both the lady and the peasant girl learned valuable lessons from each other. The lady discovered the importance of kindness, compassion, and humility, while the peasant girl learned to embrace her dreams and aspirations. Together, they transformed their community. The lady used her wealth and influence to improve the lives of the villagers, providing them with better education, healthcare, and opportunities. The villagers, in turn, taught the other nobles the value of compassion and humility, helping to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor. And so, as you drift off to sleep, let the story of the lady and the peasant girl remind you of the beauty in kindness, the power of friendship, and the importance of understanding and respecting one another, no matter our differences. Good night, and may your dreams be filled with love, compassion, and unity. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills and beautiful meadows, there lived 4 inseparable friends: Alexandra, Louis, Philippe, and Henri. They were the most adventurous and daring children in the village, and they all shared a dream of becoming brave and honorable musketeers when they grew up. Inspired by the legendary stories of the original 4 musketeers, the 4 friends decided to form their own group called the 4 Mini Musketeers. They vowed to always protect each other, stand for justice, and be loyal to their king and queen. One sunny day, a mysterious messenger arrived at the village, bringing news that the beloved queen had lost her precious golden locket. The locket was a gift from the king and held immense sentimental value. It was rumored that the locket was stolen by a cunning thief who had fled to a nearby forest. Upon hearing this news, the 4 Mini Musketeers saw this as an opportunity to prove their bravery and loyalty. They set off on a daring adventure to retrieve the queen's locket and bring the thief to justice. The four friends journeyed through the forest, facing various challenges along the way. They encountered wild animals, treacherous rivers, and confusing paths. But with their combined skills, unwavering friendship, and trust in one another, they overcame every obstacle that came their way. Finally, they reached the hidden lair of the thief, a notorious bandit named Reynard. The four mini musketeers, using their wits and teamwork, managed to outsmart Reynard and retrieve the queen's golden locket. They tied up the bandit and escorted him back to the village to face justice. Upon their return, the villagers greeted the young heroes with cheers and applause. The messenger took the locket and Reynard back to the royal palace, and the king and queen were overjoyed to have the precious locket returned. As a reward for their bravery and loyalty, the king and queen invited the four mini musketeers to the palace. The young heroes were honored with a grand feast, and the king declared them honorary musketeers. The village celebrated their success, and the four mini musketeers became local legends. From this exciting tale, the four mini musketeers learned that true friendship, bravery, and loyalty can overcome any obstacle. They continued to embark on thrilling adventures, always supporting and protecting one another. And as you drift off to sleep, let the story of the four mini musketeers remind you of the power of friendship, loyalty, and believing in yourself. Good night, and may your dreams be filled with daring adventures and camaraderie.